Imagine a city with no roads, no cars, not even sidewalks in some places. Everything you see around me, every building, every street, it's floating on water. But here's the crazy part. This entire city wasn't even supposed to survive. Yet somehow for over 15,000 years, Venice is still here. This is Venice, Italy, built on over 100 small islands in a lagoon of the Adriatic Sea. It's one of the most unique cities on Earth, but also one of the most fragile. Today we're breaking down how this city was built, how it actually functions without roads, and why it might not exist in the future if things don't change. Venice dates back to around the 5th century, when people fled invasions after the fall of the Roman Empire. They escaped to these swampy islands because no army could easily reach them. And what started as a place of refuge turned into one of the most powerful cities in the world. By the Middle Ages, Venice became a major maritime empire, controlling trade routes between Europe and the East. This wasn't just a city. It was a global superpower of its time. But here's what makes it insane. They built everything on the water. These buildings aren't floating, but they're not exactly on solid ground either. Venice was built using millions of wooden piles driven deep into the mud. And over time, something incredible happened. The wood didn't rot because it's submerged in water with very little oxygen. So instead, it hardened, almost like stone. On top of that, they built stone foundations. and then the city you see today came to be. It's basically a man-made miracle sitting on a lagoon. Now here's where Venice gets even more unique. There are no cars here, no buses, not even highways. Transportation is entirely water-based. You've got gondolas, which are more traditional and mostly for tourists now. Even garbage collection happens by boat. Imagine your entire city running like this. The canals aren't just for transportation. They're the streets of Venice. The Grand Canal is the main highway cutting through the city in a giant S shape. And then you have hundreds of smaller canals connecting everything together. But these waterways are directly connected to the ocean, which means tides, storms, and sea level changes all impact the city. And that's where things start getting serious. But the real backbone of the city is something called the Vaporetto. It's basically a water bus system that moves people all around Venice. There are also water taxis, delivery boats, emergency services, all operating through the canals. Venice is sinking. Not dramatically overnight, but slowly, year by year. This is caused by a combination of natural subsidence and rising sea levels. And there's something called acqua alta. That's seasonal flooding that can cover large parts of the city. But climate change is making these events way more frequent and way more intense. To fight this, Venice created one of the most ambitious engineering projects in the world, the MOSE barrier system, which is massive gates that rise up to block incoming tides from the sea. It's an incredible solution, but it's also expensive, controversial, and not a permanent fix. Because at the end of the day, you cannot ever fully control the ocean. Venice isn't just a tourist destination. It's a warning. These are cities all over the world, from Miami to Jakarta, facing similar threats. If we can't protect a place like Venice, what does that mean for everywhere else? Venice has survived for over 1,000 years against all odds. The question now is, can it survive the future? If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more content on oceans, conservation, and the hidden systems. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more content on oceans, conservation, and the hidden systems shaping our world. And as always, remember that together we can make a difference, one swell at a time.